I'm just gonna say, yes, he gave it to me. It's devastating to have to come on here and share that whenever I was 19 years old, GucciThirdLeg burned me with HSV2. And he told me that he was gonna send me his test results, and he never did. And it saddens me to hear that he's done this to so many girls. And there's girls with so many similar stories to me, and they're so young as well. He is preying on the young, he is preying on the new. And I'm so sorry for not saying this 7 months ago. I was scared, and I was making so much money. I can't keep beating around the bush because you guys think I'm lying. And he can't ruin anybody else's life. I didn't know. I didn't know what he was known for. I didn't know who he was. I didn't do my research, and it is my fault.
What are you positive for? What is that?
Can you read that?
It says you're positive for HSV1.
Yes.
So what is that? Can you explain what that means?
So positive for HSV1 means you do not have herpes. It means you have had probably like a cool sore, muscle, stuff like that. And this is very common in the whole world.
Right. 2
out of 3 people in the world have HSV1.
Let me just look it up so I can.
Most adult stars, they do not test for HSV1. And in this situation, I understand she is a victim, but I'm sorry, Danae Davis is not my victim. Also, to kind of backtrack on everything, me and Danae filmed on February 10th. When we filmed on February 10th, Danae did not show me a new test. She did not show me a previous test. She never even showed me a test. I was wrong as a content creator for even working with her, but just knowing how desperate she sounded, how eager she was. She said she needed money to make for her, you know what I'm saying, like for her rent.
Hey guys, it's Maggie, and so the whole scene with Charleston White and Sexyy Red, it's been blowing up crazy for real. Charleston, who's known for speaking his mind with no filter, came out with some wild claims, calling out Sexyy Red, and folks at first were like, man, he just stirring up drama again. But now, things are taking a different turn, and people are paying attention to what he said about her health, specifically with these S-related disease. At first, folks didn't take Charleston too seriously. You know how he can be, always talking reckless. But now there's new info that's got people side-eyeing the situation, especially after what went down with this adult creator, GucciThirdLeg. Turns out, Gucci was out here spreading some bad news knowingly, which shook up everything, especially when people started connecting the dots with Sexyy Red's name being linked to him. Now all eyes are on both Gucci and Sexyy Red, and everybody's getting real curious about what's really going on. It's wild, because what Charleston was saying is suddenly sounding less like random hate and more like facts. All of a sudden, that drama ain't so easy to brush off no more. And folks are rethinking if maybe, just maybe, Charleston was onto something from the jump. So GucciThirdLeg, the dude who blew up in the adult content game, has found himself in the middle of a real mess. Dude got famous off his explicit vids, and with that fame came a lot of partners in his content. Problem is, a lot of them had no clue about his health situation. This all came to light when Dee Davis, one of his partners from when she was just 19, came out with some heavy accusations. She said Gucci never let her know about his HSV2 status before they worked together, and because of that, she ended up catching the virus. What's wild is she claims he knew about it way before, but still kept quiet, leaving not just her but other women in the dark. After Davis spoke up, more women started telling similar stories, which painted a pretty messed up picture of Gucci's actions. The backlash hit hard and fast, with people going in on him for not keeping it real and putting these women at risk. Gucci tried to clear his name by posting old test results, but that only made folks more heated, since it was clear he wasn't being straight up about everything. His rep took a major hit, and now there's a lot of talk about how the adult content industry handles transparency and safety. Because this situation got people really thinking about how much folks should know before getting involved in this kind of work. Things just got even messier once folks started connecting the dots between Gucci and Sexyy Red. Word hit the streets quick about an alleged unprotected link-up between them, and soon enough, people started digging up receipts. Social media detectives were on it, finding posts and photos that made it look like Sexyy Red had been real close with Gucci, making the situation even more wild. The thought that Sexyy Red might have caught HSV2 from Gucci had her fans shook. A lot of folks were mad disappointed, and others were straight up worried. Her staying mostly quiet didn't do her any favors either. People were waiting on her to clear things up, but instead she only briefly mentioned it, leaving everyone with more questions than answers. When Sexyy Red finally spoke out, she denied ever dating Gucci, but she skipped over the more serious rumors about S-related disease, and that move had people talking even more. Some felt like she was trying to downplay the whole situation, which only added fuel to the fire. The reaction from her fans was split. Some were still riding with her, while others started thinking there was more going on than she was letting on. For a minute now, Charleston's been real vocal about not feeling Sexyy Red, and he's thrown out plenty of harsh comments about her personal life and health. One time, in a heated interview, he straight up said she was contaminated with different S-related disease, and at the time, most folks just thought he was wildin' out, hitting her with baseless slander. Now, back then it seemed like Charleston was just going at her the way he does, always ready for conflict. But now, with all the news about GucciThirdLeg and the whole HSV2 situation, people are starting to rethink what Charleston said. His claims about Sexyy Red's health, even though they were pretty ruthless, are looking kinda spot on right now. In that same interview, he even named specific S-related disease, including HSV, which is the exact thing Gucci's been accused of passing around. Now folks are wondering if Charleston had some inside info all along. Whether he was in the know or just throwing shade, his words are hitting different now, making him seem less like a guy who's just trying to stir the pot and more like someone who might have been dropping truth from the start. The fact that he allegedly didn't tell his partners about his HSV2 status has a lot of people heated. Not just the women he worked with, but the public too. After the story blew up, this list started floating around online, supposedly naming over 50 women Gucci hooked up with since he tested positive. And guess what? Sexyy Red's name was on that list, making things even crazier. For a lot of people, that list was all the proof they needed to confirm Sexyy Red had been involved with Gucci. But even with all this evidence piling up, Gucci's still out here denying the most serious accusations. He even jumped on a popular live stream with Adin Ross to defend himself, showing some old test results that he said cleared him of having HSV2. Problem is, those results were more than a year old, and that had a lot of folks side-eyeing his claims. Critics weren't buying it, saying a lot can change in a year, and without fresh test results, there's no way to know if Gucci's really telling the truth. It's just adding more fuel to the fire, and people are still waiting for Gucci to really come clean about what's going on. The live stream with Adin Ross was a game changer in this whole drama. Adin, who's a big name in the streaming world, took the situation seriously. Not just because of the accusations against Gucci, but also because he had a personal stake in it. Turns out Adin had been involved with some of the same women who were linked to Gucci, so he was understandably concerned about his own health and whether he might have been exposed to HSV2. This made the live stream a whole lot more intense, with Adin being more than just a host. He was part of the story now. During the stream, Gucci tried to brush off the heat by claiming he only had HSV1, which is a more common form of the H virus and not HSV2, the more serious one people were worried about. But the audience wasn't buying it. Gucci didn't have any recent test results to back up what he was saying, and that made viewers even more suspicious. His refusal to drop current info during the stream only made people think he was hiding something. After that, Gucci promised to come back with updated test results, but when the moment came, dude went ghost. This disappearing act pretty much killed whatever credibility he had left, and most people came to the conclusion that he was guilty of what he'd been accused of. Now the whole situation's got everyone looking at Gucci sideways, wondering what's really going on behind the scenes. As this whole scandal keeps unraveling, people are starting to look back at Sexyy Red's past, especially some things she's said and done before. This ain't the first time rumors about S-related disease have swirled around her, and her own past admissions have only added to the speculation. A few months ago, she posted a video of herself at the doctor's office, hinting that something was up with her health. She didn't say much directly, but the caption talked about waiting for the doctor to explain some discomfort she was feeling. A lot of folks took that as a low-key admission that she might have been dealing with another S-related disease at the time. Not long after that, another rapper, Vonoff1700, made some not-so-subtle comments that seemed to point in the same direction. In a Facebook post, he mentioned having lingering symptoms even after showering multiple times, which many took as him implying he'd caught something after being with Sexyy Red. Now, with all this stuff resurfacing and the new allegations involving Gucci, people are starting to connect the dots. A lot of folks are thinking there might be some truth to these rumors about Sexyy Red's health after all, especially with how everything's been playing out. In the end, both GucciThirdLeg and Sexyy Red find themselves under serious public pressure. For Gucci, the accusations that he knowingly spread HSV-2 have pretty much ended his career, with a lot of people calling for legal action against him. His choices not only hurt his reputation, but also sparked bigger conversations about health and trust, especially when it comes to relationships in the adult content industry. Folks are looking for answers, and many are wondering if Gucci should face more than just public backlash. As for Sexyy Red, while she hasn't been directly accused of spreading infections, her rep has definitely taken a hit. Her rumored connection with Gucci and her past comments about S-related disease have made people question what's really going on. This whole situation has reignited debates around transparency and accountability in intimate relationships, not just in the entertainment industry, but in general. With new information still coming out, it's clear that this drama isn't over yet. What started as a scandal between a few people has grown into a much larger conversation about health, safety, and responsibility. Both Gucci and Sexyy Red are going to have to face these issues head-on if they want any chance at rebuilding their public image and moving forward from all this.